Hello everyone, welcome back to another Minecraft Create Mod tutorial. This episode, I'll be showing off some cool contraptions I made using the new gantry block that was recently added in the Create 0.3.1 update. So first thing I want to show off is this cool little 6-axis crane that I made. It can go up and down using this lever on the side. So you can see we can pick up this crate with all these diamonds in it, and then we can use these controls to kind of control left, right, forward, and backwards. And so you can use this to move stuff around if you wanted to do things manually, if you wanted to have like a cool like automated thing going around your factory or something that's just moving stuff all around your factory. It's really cool to actually get this movement in the game. When I drop it off, I can just simply hit this button to release it, pull my thing back up, and continue on. So the way this whole system works is that up top here for each of these lines, we have a gear shift and a creative motor. What this does is it controls the direction that this is traveling. So going one way, if we hit the gear shift, it'll start going the other way. And then on the other side, we have another link that's basically just powering and depowering the line. Now what this does is this actually controls off and on. So you can see if I just break the line, we'll update that quick. See, when I broke the line, it would start to move because it's essentially like unpowered, and unpowering it lets the whole thing move. Then on the other side, which is connected to the first gantry, basically we're moving along this whole line here. So we need to take our power and move it all the way across, which we're using a chain drive on this side. Then on this side, we're using a redstone line to basically control on and off. Now to control the on and off, and as well as the direction, I have these little cells I created. So each of these little cells, if I flip this, you see it corresponds to this lane here. What this does is it powers this toggle latch. So this one controls left and right. So with this one, it's going to move right by flipping the power latch, so this is off. And then this one corresponds to the gear shift. So basically when it's off, it'll go one way. If it's on, it'll go the other way. So if I hit this, you'll see our power latch will flip and it'll start moving left. And then to control that it's actually moving, basically all we're doing is we have a redstone torch here, which pulls back the sticky piston holding a block of redstone, which powers this line, which unpowers this, which goes to our redstone link. And basically what that does is it makes it so that when I have nothing pulled for left and right, those will both be put forward, that'll be on, it'll be stopped. But then as soon as I start to go, let's say right, pull that back, turn that line on, and turn on our movement. Then we got the same deal for moving forwards and back here with this little cell. A little more complicated is this trigger to move our hand up and down. The way this works is we have this system over here where this is on brown, brown. So whenever we hit this, this piston extends and this piston extends. And this is connected to the direction of left and right movement. The reason for that is because it's actually getting its power from our left and right gantry shaft. So when you actually power this line, what will happen is the power will transfer from here, and it'll basically transfer onto the shaft. So I could put like another gantry here, or in this example, a rope pulley. And what I'm doing here is I have a gear shift connected to the green, which is over here. So when this is in, so we're not going down, what it does is it reverses the signal coming from that line, so it'll always go up. But then, if I were to flip this, it'll take the signal directly. So instead of reversing it, it'll directly go to the signal, so it'll go the opposite way. And then the last really simple little piece I have here is this little button, which triggers it to grab and ungrab. So wait for it to go up, and we'll actually bring it towards us a little bit. So one tricky thing with this system is you can't be moving up and trigger direction at once because it'll kind of get stuck. Because while the piston is moving, it doesn't like the whole gantry up top to move. So we'll go to there, and then you can see right now we have our sticker block here with a redstone link. And when I go ahead and I hit this button, our sticker will become sticky, and now anything it grabs will stick to it. So basically we can use this button to toggle it on and off. So if you want to pick something up, toggle it on, drop something off, toggle it off. So this next design, I don't really see any practical uses for it, but definitely make a cool little addition to your factory. You got this like actual crane design. Now this works very similar to how the other one works in terms of our shaft going this way, so we can actually move our head forwards and backwards on this top line. Now where this one differs is I have these two buttons which turn it 90 degrees one way and 90 degrees the other way. So I can turn around here, get lined up. Now I do have a little bit issues with this one, with the way it's actually going up and down, because I think when it turns 90 degrees, something in here gets reversed for some reason, but it's not too big of an issue. Basically just have to toggle that on and off depending on which direction it's facing, which I haven't set up automatically yet. But anyway, we can get it lined up with our crate here. Looks like gotta go one more block forwards towards the cab. And now something you definitely do with this design is if you wanted to make the cab a little bit bigger, you definitely put the controls up in there, which would be super cool, and then put like all the circuitry and stuff underground or something. So we can basically go down, grab our crate. Again, we have a little button, which triggers our sticker. We can lift up our crate. We do have to wait for it to go all the way to the top again. We can't stop it midway and turn it, because essentially the way this works is that our rope pulley is always being powered no matter what, so we can't stop it at any point. But now we can like turn it 90 degrees and then drop off our crate somewhere else. The only new system is our turning, which is real simple. We have our two redstone links, which pulse up to here, which we got one here on this gear shift and one here on this sequential gear shift. One is turning 90 degrees and one is turning negative 90 degrees. And these essentially just go to a bearing up here, which turns this whole thing around. Pretty simple. I think it's pretty elegant, and I'm a big fan of this one. It's really silly, and there's no real use for it, but I think it's fun. So I gotta be honest, I struggled a lot with this one. What I was going for is a 3-axis printer, so it'll print one layer, go up one, print another layer, go up one, print another layer, go up one, so on and so on. I was able to print one layer, but going up a layer, I just could not get figured out. So this one definitely needs some refining, definitely needs some work, but figured I'd show it to you guys anyway, just to get this video out there. And I don't think I can do this anymore. It's been causing me quite a headache. But anyway, the idea here is you put your materials into the barrel, and then what you want to do is you want to have a deployer. And if you put a schematic in the deployer, what it'll do is it'll basically use that as a recipe of what to place in the world. And then basically the way this works is it starts off by going this way. It'll hit this redstone contact, which triggers like a little thing that goes this way one, then goes all the way this way. It'll hit this, triggers it to go this way one, and then all the way here. And then again and again and again, it just does all the layers all the way down until it gets to the end where this redstone contact hits here, where then the whole thing goes up one, and then it basically reverses the direction. It'll print back this way. Now it's the going up one that I struggled with, so we're going to run this and we're going to see how it goes. It should print. It should print the first layer, but we'll see. So you can see it goes one way, hits a contact, moves up one, goes the other way. Oh, moves up one, and I just realized I messed up. We gotta go one lower, because basically where the arrow is pointing is where it's actually placing the block. So let's see if hopefully it'll go up a block after this, but if not, I might have to lower our printing bed by one. All right, so you can see there at the end, it didn't actually go up at all. So, oh, okay, well, I misspoke. So yeah, basically what happens is it really freaks out at the end, which yeah, I could not figure out a good fix for. So I guess stay tuned. Maybe in the future I will refine this design, maybe with some help, and I'll definitely release that if I do get around to doing that. All right, I think I finally got it working. So should print our first layer of blocks. So you can see it goes one way, the other, and then as it goes past a block that is basically set by the schematic, it'll place that block. So we can just kind of come up here and watch it print. And that about sums up my feelings on how this whole system went together. I struggled so much getting this to work, even in this capacity, and it's not even perfect. Redstoning is not my forte. I'll say that much. So if I do this again, maybe I'll ask for some help in getting this whole system working. So last but certainly not least, what kind of triggered this whole video to begin with, is I made a fully functional claw machine using the Minecraft Crate mod. This thing is so cool, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. Basically, the way it works is we got all these shulkers in here, which all have different prizes defined. Basically, what you do is you throw a gold ingot in here, and it starts that timer. Basically, the timer will tick down. It gives you exactly 1 minute to play. Basically, the way to play, you got these 4 pressure plates. When you use to kind of move around the claw, let's see if we can line up with one of these diamond chests up front here. And I feel like a minute is kind of more than enough time. It'll give you time to kind of jump around to the edges here. Make sure you're lined up. Looks like we need to go forward 1 block. And I think we might be right on it. So I think we basically then, all you do is you wait for the timer to fully go out. You wait the full minute. So we got 3 lights to go. And once that triggers, basically what it'll do is that hand, or the claw, you could almost call it, would go down, pick up your block, and then your block will get dispensed out of the chute over there. So you can see there's 1 light left, 0 lights. It'll come down, grab our shulker. Hopefully we get this diamond one right in front. Hopefully we didn't go too far back. And it looks like we did. Nice. So it'll go down, it'll wait just a second, then it will come back up right after that second. And the reason we wait that long is so that way, even if you have like 1 at the bottom there, you'll still be able to grab it. It'll come up to the top. Wait a second at the top for the same reason. We want to be able to make sure that we got to hit that sweet spot where it'll grab the bottom shulker, but it won't start like picking up the floor, because that would be bad. Then once that's done and it's fully picked up, what it'll do is it'll move to the front, trigger off of this, trigger off of the contact, which I've noticed that this sometimes messes up. Like it's giving the signal to the correct thing, but it's just not lit up for whatever reason. So you can see here it's giving the signal here, but it's not letting itself go forward. So basically to fix that, turn it off, turn it back on, and now we should be going the correct direction. I don't know a great solution to that, but anyway, here we can see it goes forward, gets the other redstone contact, and then it triggers the shulker to be lowered down. This does take a while because I wanted to make sure that playing the game felt right, but whatever speed you play the game at is also going to be the speed where it drops down the shulker at, which I think that's a little slow, but I don't want the game to go too fast. And then you can see our items get shot out the top here. You can see we got all of our stuff in here. It looks like some of our golden carrots actually left the shulker, and that's because of our system to get the stuff out. But anyway, once that goes all the way back up, it'll basically reset the game. We can throw a gold in here and play again. So now I'm going to show you guys how this works. So the first thing that happens when you throw a gold in, here those pistons trigger. What that's basically doing is it's turning the game on. So the first thing it does is it activates this little redstone timer here. This little redstone timer, it keeps going around and around and around, and every time it goes around, essentially what it's doing is it's turning on and off the smart chute. We got a whole bunch of stone in here connected to this comparator, and then it goes through the smart chute into our chest down here. And the reason we're doing that is to actually let our timer go. So that comparator comes up here to the timer, and basically as that chest empties out, this ticks down, and it'll basically tick down to 0. We've got our lamps right behind here, which actually show you how much time you have left. So that's basically what that whole little timer system is for. Then we got another timer here in the form of an adjustable pulse repeater, which is a few things. First, it turns off this timer, makes it stop. And secondly, it turns this off. Which actually, oh, this isn't connected anymore. got a lot of changes made here because, like I said, I'm not the best at redstone. One thing it does do is it does turn the controls on and off. So basically, what we have over here is we have this little sticky mechanical piston, which connects up to these redstone links. And basically, as you play the game, to turn on and off the controls is when you put your money in here. Basically, what happens is it pulls it down, you play the game, and then when the game is done, or pushes it up, I should say, you play the game. After you're done playing the game, it pulls it back down, so that we can no longer control the game. And then once it's done, we want to recycle all of our stone back into here. So I got a chute hooked up to a fan with a mechanical belt above it. So basically what happens is it just basically gets sucked up right into this belt and then goes right into the crate. And that's just controlled with a clutch here, which basically turns on when you start the game, turns off when you stop the game. How to actually use the controls. Basically we have our two cells, which are pretty much the exact same as the claw, or the crane from the first part of the video. We have two of these cells, one that controls forward back, one that controls up down, and then we use the pressure plates to activate those. Now when the game is finished, to actually bring everything back, this is what controls our claw. So basically, whenever we have our, I think it's left-right is what's connected to the claw. Whenever our left-right is on, basically what we're doing is reversing that signal. Basically the same way we did over there, just a little more compact. And then when it's done, basically what we do is we want to reverse that signal. So basically we want to give this power, which is the reverse of the reverse signal. Sorry, I'm not explaining this super well. I don't know it super well. It took me a long time to do, and I'm not super confident in it. But basically the way it works is it gets the signal, goes down, back up, and then over here is where it actually returns. So the first thing it does is it'll go forward until it hits the redstone contact. And then it triggers this, which makes it go that way until it hits the redstone contact, which then finally triggers this, which pushes it down, back up, and we get our prize. And actually what happens when we push it down is it goes onto the chute with a mechanical drill. So if I grab a shulker, what it'll do is it'll drop it down to here. The drill will mine it. It'll go into the chute, go out here, which goes to a weighted ejector and flings it up to the player. And it all works pretty smoothly when that decides to trigger, which is not every time for whatever reason. Hopefully I can get that sorted at some point and actually build it in a survival world, because I think it's pretty cool and it's definitely built to work with survival. So that'll be it for today. If you guys are interested in playing on this world, it'll be down in the description for you to download. And if you like the video, you know what to do. Bye-bye.